Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Well, yesterday, hopefully you were listening at this time when we had a deep discussion about Raising Cane's opening their 5th location in Chicago at the Belmont and Western heavily congested intersection. And I know that intersection well. They want to build it right at the corner with a drive-through. And obviously this would lead to more traffic problems there because people like Raising Cane's chicken. It's very good. Case is a very passionate subscriber to their service of chicken.
I love what they do.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Yeah. And, you know, in Chicago, there's a lot of areas where you say, well, why don't they just build it like a little bit further down? Well, they can't do it there. The open spot is right at the corner.
Can't do it. What do you want?
Yeah. It's right there. This is where it is.
This is the spot.
This is it. So we had a fiery discussion about possibly that being a chicken finger desert. But then we found out there's a Popeyes at Addison and Western, so only a block away.
And someone said there's another chicken spot as well near there.
Yeah.
So there's some chicken.
It's not a chicken finger desert.
It's not a desert. And again, I know this area well. You have the Popeyes there. You have a Jewel Osco, which has to be counted as a chicken establishment.
1,000%. Their fried chicken is the best in the damn state.
And my favorite French fries in the city.
Right.
And then you also have a local chicken establishment there. So I get it. There's a lot of options. Not to mention the Wendy's that's right around the corner. Not to mention the McDonald's that's nearby.
The chicken is popping, okay? There's chicken on deck.
There's chicken available. And good chicken at that.
Exactly.
However,
there's no Cane's.
That's right. And they're a business investing in Chicago by putting a big location there. Mm-hmm. It's the spot available. There's nothing there right now. So it was thwarted by neighbors. And I can understand that as a homeowner. You know, sometimes you just don't want that problem going on. But this is stopping business and development and jobs. A lot of kids in that neighborhood, probably their first job. And as we pointed out, Lane Tech High School is just down the street. And as a former Lane Tech student checked in, a girl named Amelia, they get open lunch where they can leave the campus grounds to go to lunch. And there's a lot of options on Western Avenue.
And there's about to be more.
So the neighbors and Alderman Matt Martin of the 47th Ward, he joined the neighbors in opposing the restaurant plan with his office saying the proposal created safety concerns. So as good journalists, here Brian and Kenzie, and Case the producer, Case reached out to Alderman Matt Martin about it to see if he'd come on the show and talk about it today. And we thought he'd come right on because, you know, this is the source for information in Chicago locally.
State your case, baby.
If you have a debate or a problem, you come to us. You know?
We wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Right. Or the chicken's mouth.
We want to know what's going on with this chicken horse.
So, a chicken horse. Can you imagine a chicken the size of a horse?
It'd be delicious.
What about a horse the size of a chicken?
Well, that's those mini horse videos I see on TikTok. Those little mini horses.
Adorable. My baby could ride it.
So, Case reached out to Alderman Matt Martin's office of the 47th Ward. And is he coming on the show today, Case?
He is not.
Oh, boy.
What I have been told from the office of Alderman Max Martin is that...
Oh, okay. Let's get the music for him.
Sadly, he is not able to come join the show today as, quote, he has to drive his kids to school and then he has a very busy day, end quote.
Huh.
I can't imagine what's more productive than spending time with us here in the morning. You know, we've had quite a good year. A lot of ear holes on this show right now.
You know, and also, you could just call us while you're driving.
I wanted to say that, but I thought that was going to be really pushy.
We didn't say come in. Like, drop him off. What the hell?
Case, I would have loved it if you said, well, why can't he call when he's driving?
I know. That's kind of what I wanted to say, but... By that point of the phone call, we had already had a very deep conversation, myself and the staff member for Alderman Martin, and it wasn't going great at that point.
Ah, that's too bad.
Because for some reason, this crew does not want to come defend their actions. Now, I do have an official statement from the Alderman Martin camp. Would you like me to read that?
I'd love to hear it.
All right, and this is real. This is the conversation I had with them on the phone yesterday.
Got it.
They said, we'd like to remind you, because I did accuse them of vetoing this Raising Cane's themselves. It was an accusation that was made, and they said the following. We'd like to remind you that Alderman Martin does not possess the power himself to veto the building of a restaurant, but he can influence his constituents into building a better and safer community. Alderman Martin was not opposed to Raising Cane's as a concept.
I see.
Only the drive-through part of the restaurant, end quote.
Ah,
So
got
he
it.
wants Cane's there, no window.
No window. Yeah, but what's the point of having a Cane's if there's no drive-through?
The one at Wrigley doesn't have a drive-through. It's very popular.
They'd be better off if they had a drive-through.
I'll tell you what, that line is long as F. It's always in the way of the sidewalk.
That's right. People do go out
Like,
there.
I'm walking here.
And I got to say, I walk by that Raising Cane's going home to Cubs games almost every time. Well, every time there's a game. And the line is long, but certainly they could put a drive-through there. And I will tell you, it's a little different in the more commercial area of Belmont and Western. I got to guess, and this is just me, spitting numbers out.
Yeah.
Okay, hit us with a number.
Without
that
a
you're guessing.
drive-through, they lose 97% of their business.
97. How do you land on that number?
That's my analytics. I have this stuff in my head, this information.
You're a bit of a drive-through expert yourself.
Why get out of your car when you want chicken?
Well, I think that a lot of people who feel that way then order like a DoorDash, a Grubhub, and Uber Eats. I feel like when they don't want to move.
Correct, but it's never, and I'm not ripping, I order food, but I go pick it up because I'm faster than DoorDash. I'm fast.
You're freaky fast.
And if you got to wait for it, it's never as good. You got to heat it back up. I'm a big believer in getting it and eating it.
I know.
And also, sometimes food just hits different in the car. When you're at a red light and you can eat some Texas toast and some signature cane sauce that you just picked up at a local drive-thru, oh my God, forget it. But we don't have that. They took that from us.
Case, I don't want to do this to you, but whose car are you eating in?
Well,
Case doesn't own a car, just to be fair.
If you never, so I'm just like, what is this moment you've experienced?
I've driven a car before. I know what it's like to drive.
Did you steal it?
No, I had a car.
I will say this. Case says, and when's the last time you had a car?
The last time I owned a car was 2020.
What happened to that car?
I sold it.
What, did it run?
Did you steal it?
No, I didn't steal the car. And yes, the car ran.
Okay.
What am I running, a chop shop?
What
the
You're just
hell?
not a car guy.
So you have the fond memories of chicken in the car 4 years ago.
It's the best moments of my life. Chicken in the car is what I live for.
There's nothing better than putting on the Brian and Kenzie podcast, sitting in your car and park with it running so the air conditioning's hitting you,
Exactly.
and then eating chicken.
And it's important to note, not every food is a car food, right? There's some things that don't
no
transfer to the
burrito.
car. No burrito.
No
Forget
burrito.
it. You
Forget
can't
it.
do a burrito in the car. Fried chicken is a car food. It's a Hall of Fame car food. It's on the Mount Rushmore of car food.
And I love Wendy's, but you can't do, like, when you get the Dave's double and triple.
Juicy.
Absolutely.
Juicy.
Cannot do it. It's loaded with things.
Very juice.
I've almost killed a lot of people eating that burger while driving. And that's on me, and I'm sorry. It's really hard to catch the lettuce in the container when you're driving.
Italian beef.
Slippery sucker.
Italian beef, not a car food.
Because you try to scoop the rest of the jardinera.
Oh, it's so juicy.
Boy, you know what? Now that we're talking it through, they probably shouldn't have a drive-through over there. A lot of people are going to die. I understand what they're saying.
No, because the chicken is the perfect car food.
Yeah.
But I dunk it.
That's okay.
Oh.
You're not going to, if you get a little.
I look down. I can't look up and dunk.
That's a you problem.
I know.
I can no look dunk. I'm like Derrick Rose in his prime.
Wow.
I gotta know where I'm putting it. You know what I mean? Ayo, she said. But anyways, it's very important.
So essentially you're saying, Case, that you called the alderman and they gave you that statement and there's not a reschedule of this.
It was not a super pleasant phone call. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, they're not calling back in any way or shape or form to talk about chicken. I think Case told me after he talked to him, they didn't realize what was funny about talking about chicken.
They didn't get it. It was like when I called NASA to see how many chicken wings we could fit into the studio. They didn't find it as funny as we did.
let's just say I don't think the alderman listens because you didn't understand what we were talking about.
Well, it's one of those deals like when you call and they go, for public safety concerns, press 2. For trash pickup, press 3. There's no hotkey for chicken finger discussion.
Yeah.
And that is why he is not my favorite alderman in the city.
I think that he thought that we wanted to really dig in and discuss his neighborhood
chicken?
plans. And what are you really doing with that car? I think he thought he was gonna get a 60 minutes breakdown of Barbara Walters, and we just really want to talk about this whole drive-through thing.
Listen, if you need something done here in Chicago, this is the source for it. Some people might say, the news, like WGN-TV.
The news. Some people might say you go to the news.
Yeah, that nothing's going to happen there.
In general.
Yeah,
The news, all of it. All of the news.
Alderman Matt Martin, we'd appreciate a call at some point to talk about this more deeply. Maybe you're in the car with your kids right now. You can call while you're driving. It's okay.
Hands-free, they've got that now.
Is that him on the line? I see the phone ringing.
Oh, is that him?
Is that him? Wait, let me try to pick. Is that it?
Goodbye.
Nope, that's not him. No.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Is that the alderman calling there?
Goodbye.
So we were just talking about the 47th Ward alderman. We try to get him on the show to talk about this Raising Cane's chicken restaurant that's been denied in the Belmont Western area by the neighbors. And, of course, the alderman who says he has no power over opening or closing a restaurant and would love a Raising Cane's without a drive-through, if I'm paraphrasing there.
That's correct.
What was the exact verbiage case on the statement?
The thing that I was told was that he is not against the concept of Raising Cane's in general.
That's the funny part.
Only the drive-through part of it, but he is for Raising Cane's as a concept.
Well, we thank you, Matt Martin, and hope we talk to you sometime soon in person about it and not a statement through,
A spokesman.
a spokesman, if you will.
I was pawned off.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. I was disappointed.
Jeannie from Aurora checked in and said, was Case's car a Flintstones car powered by his legs?
I was not. I drove a car.
We got into a discussion about what's the best car food, and Case hasn't had a car in 4 years, and it made it sound like it was a very old car, like a Flintstones car.
I was a Volkswagen. It was a nice ride.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, it was okay. I've driven a car before. I know what it's like to eat chicken in the car.
Well, thank you, Jeannie from Aurora, for checking in. It was what was it again? It was a Volkswagen?
Yeah, it was a Passat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are pretty nice.
I got a Fender-sponsored stereo system.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Why'd you get rid of it?
Well, I needed money because I worked here at the time and they weren't paying me a lot. That is a true story.
I think Corey says it all here. Corey says, hold the sauce and the wheel in the left hand and the chicken in the right hand.
Exactly.
When driving your car.
That's a Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame car food. Not everything can be transferred over. Sometimes it's tough with the sauces, but the benefit of Cane's is that their signature Cane sauce is in a circular container. It's not in a packet. You don't want to be dealing with packets in the car.
No, good thing there's a lot of locations. There will not be one at Belmont and Western. Here's Go Curtis with your headlines.
This is not headline news. Today is National Nut Day. A great way to observe it is to grab a handful of nuts. And just to be clear, that's the kind that come in the planter's container, Kevin Spacey. Britney Spears posted photos in a wedding dress while claiming she married herself. Predictions are she'll be divorced from herself by February. This Friday, the New York Yankees will face the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. It's already being called the best series that money can buy. And 1% of Americans will air fry their turkey this Thanksgiving and won't shut up about it until Memorial Day. This is not headline news.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Well, speaking of Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, yes, playing the Madhouse next Friday. That will be Friday, November 1st. Tickets are on sale now from our great friends at Live Nation, but you can win them right now for free. Here we go. It's a wonderful game we play called Guess the Sound. And usually these are from a viral video, so that's your kind of clue and perhaps knowing what's happening here in this random piece of audio that might sound weird to you. So I'll give you the setting. It's a guy and a girl in a car, and something happens in the car, and then this is the audio. Guess the sound right here of what happened to cause this reaction. That's it. That's all you get. So if you can guess that at 312-591-8300, call in only. This doesn't count for text. Do not text. Call only. Guess the sound for the Nathaniel Rateliff tickets. Kenzie, what do you think's going on there in the car?
I think that he pretended like he was going to flash him, but then he had like a burrito in his pants or something. They're like, oh my God, that's funny.
Now, that's really creative. Has that happened to you?
Listen.
You don't just make that up.
Hey, all you asked for is what you thought I thought happened,
Okay. This
That's
seems
that.
very specific.
Well, this is a specific scenario.
Brian, can you play it one more time?
Okay, here we go.
Oh, it's a burrito. Okay.
I'm not telling you if you're right or not. Case, what do you think's going on there? So a guy and a girl in a car, and that's the sound. What's happening there?
They went on a jungle safari, and an elephant tried to stick its trunk in the car window.
Another great guess.
That does not happen to me, by the way. But those videos, anything bad that happens on a safari, I think you get what's coming to you. Don't play with nature that way.
I love when the llamas come in the car and like take people's food. It's my favorite.
It's like amazing how long their tongues are.
I know.
Because they can get like all the food.
It's so cute.
All right, one more time. Guess what's going on in the sound. Guess the sound.
Oh, it's a burrito.
All right, 312-591-8300. You have to call on this contest only for Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats tickets. We'll take your calls after the Killers. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Guess the sound, one of our favorite games. We have a piece of audio. You have to guess what's going on in the sound. Here it is. Kenzie guessed it was a guy that said he was going to flash a lady in the car and a burrito was in his pants.
Yeah.
That's not right. But it must have happened at some point for having that specific of memory, Kenzie.
Okay, let's, it is what it is. Let's just leave that.
Hey, I'd love a burrito right now.
Oh, you're
A
telling me.
burrito in the pants,
Case said that he thinks it's one of those videos where the giraffe goes in the car and eats all the food off the girl, whatever she's holding there.
Yeah,
Off
giraffe and
the
elephant.
girl. It's not like sexual. What do you mean off the girl?
Well, she's holding popcorn in her lap, and he goes in and gets the popcorn or whatever it is. It's or peanuts. It's off the girl, technically. It's off of her.
She's on a platter.
Well, she could be. Wild animals don't know the difference.
Yeah. So guess the sound. Here it is again. You notice he says unexpected at the end. You hear the guy say that. It's a guy and a girl.
Because of the burrito.
Yeah, guy and a girl in a car. Matt, the traffic guy, checking in. Matt, guess the sound.
Hey, ahoy there, guys.
Yes, sir.
My idea is that they are driving by and laughing at Case in his little Flintstone mobile with his little pitter-pattering of his feet.
His little bitch arms.
Yeah. That is not right,
Hilarious.
Matt. But I appreciate you checking in. And let's go to Carrie checking in from Elk Grove. Carrie, ahoy. Guess the sound.
Hey, ahoy. I think it's a llama spitting in some people's faces.
A llama spitting in a face. Not that either. So sorry. All right. Let's go to Eric in Geneva. Eric, ahoy. This is from Nathaniel Rateliff tickets. Guess the sound. What do you got?
I'm going with like a drive-through haunted house, like a bighorn or something somewhere when they're driving through the scenery.
Oh, that's fun. I would love a drive-through haunted house.
It's a good guess, too. But it's not right.
Oh.
And I can see that no one's going to get this one. It's a video that's gone viral here in Chicago. So what that is, should I play the sound again to give it to you and then say what it is? Okay, here we go. What that is a girl and a guy in a car. They notice that a rat is on their windshield wiper.
Oh, my gosh.
The guy tries to turn his windshield wipers on, and the rat's too heavy, and it won't go, okay? So the guy gets out of the car, and right at that moment, the rat jumps on the guy on his collar. And that's when the woman goes like this.
I would never get out and move the rat.
I think all of us would have turned the windshield wipers on and tried to throw the rat off the car.
Well, sure, what are those called? Like spitting your car out. I would be doing all sorts of Fast and Furious moves to get the rat off. I never touch it.
Do a donut.
Do a donut.
There you go.
Delicious.
That's what happened there on the day that Chicago became the rattiest city in America for 10 years in a row, according to Orkin. They release this study every year, and 10 years in a row, Chicago has more rats than any other major city. New York and LA are behind us, but we are number one with rats. I think it's time we start commiserating with the rats. They're not going anywhere. It's not, the population isn't going down.
We should befriend them.
We should befriend the rats and get them to work.
If we adopted the rats, then we wouldn't have a rat problem. It would be a bunch of pets.
Well, for example,
Everyone gets a rat.
That's an idea. Or how about putting them to work? For example, a rat brings you water at a restaurant. Because
Ratatouille? Were you watching that last night?
Brian's like, I have an idea.
What if they all ran our kitchens?
The question becomes, do you tip a rat?
With cheese.
Oh, that'd be fun. Oh, just carry a little cheese with you everywhere you go?
Yeah.
I'm just saying they're not.
Cases would be gone.
Listen.
I was like, I'm out of cheese. Fresh out. Sorry.
They're not going away, the rats, as 10 years in a row being the rattiest city. We need to come up with a plan.
In fairness, this is their home. Should they have to leave? This
Yes.
is their city.
No, it's our city.
They've won the award 10 years in a row. We've lost.
We're
This
not-
city belongs to them.
Well, that's certainly depressing.
It does.
I'm just saying we need to somehow have a meeting with the rats, kind of like the five families in the mob, you know?
Yes,
And-
yes, just like that.
And
No,
how-
good idea,
and-
Brian.
and
I
how
love
we,
this.
How we can make this work together, because they ain't leaving, as Kenzie would say.
If you hadn't read this stat, would you have any idea we have as many rats as we do? I don't think they're harming anything.
Well,
Leave the rats alone, Brian.
I see a rat nearly every morning walking in.
Nice flex.
Chance the Ratter. I see him over in my parking lot here at the station.
So what's the problem?
He squares off against me. Like, I don't want to walk by him, and I go like an old lady. I clap to get him,
clap?
and he just looks at me and goes like, "Pfft."
You're like 800 times his size, and you clap at him when you walk by?
I don't want to walk a path of a rat. I think they all have rabies or whatever. I'm not getting near a rat.
This is super rat-phobic of you.
Yeah, it's kind of rude.
Yeah, it's rat-cist.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm not evolved.
Yeah, a little bit. You're a little behind the times.
Yeah, sorry. It doesn't mean it's dirty.
They are dirty,
It says who?
says science.
No.
Not science.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and something very, very special just happened a few moments ago. Yesterday at 8 o'clock, we announced God Bless the Gravy, the 4th annual food drive from Brian and Kenzie that has raised hundreds of thousands of meals over the last several years for people during the holiday season. Working with the Greater Chicago Food Depository, they take $1 and they can make it into 3 meals with their magic. They have Harry Potter magic going on there.
The way they stretch $1, they need to teach courses on. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well, they have connections. They can get food in huge portions to help out people, your neighbors, and they distribute to 300 food banks around the area. So everywhere you hear our voice, doesn't matter if it's Chicago, could be out in Naperville or could be in Indiana, everybody gets a piece. And that's why we urge you to contribute and help us out. It sucks asking for money, but as low as $5 can be 15 meals. That's massive
I mean,
impact.
even $1 is 3 meals.
Right. Even $1.
If you dropped $1, it would not ruin your day. You'd be like, whatever. And this would provide 3 meals.
And, there's people that have, means can give more. And we just had something happen, and we just saw it on the take. I'm trying to get the 10,000 meals by 10 o'clock today. We just got pumped up to over 7,000 meals. Thanks to Farhan and Park Ridge, who checked in. And we have him on the phone. He had a very simple request, too. And welcome to the show, Farhan. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? So what you just did was pretty impactful, and I want to tell people what you did. You donated individually $525. $525, that is over 1,500 meals, almost 1,600 meals. And I just wanted to thank you on the air for that.
Oh, I appreciate it. Case kind of called me out. I was like, hey, play this song. I'll donate some money. He's like, show me the receipt.
Well, we ask for receipts on this show. If you're going to say something,
You
let's
have
make
no
sure we have
faith
some
in
proof.
humanity.
That's what he texted back. So I man the text line. So when Case jumps in, it's funny. I just like to read the conversation. And he's like, oh, if you, basically donate first. And he texts back and said, no faith in humanity? And the answer is no.
That's right. The answer, Farhan, is no, sadly. But there's no faith in humanity.
Absolutely none.
But we do have the receipt now, and you checked in and did that. You said all you wanted to do was hear Silver Sun Pickup's Lazy Eye, the band that opened for Bush at Ahoy back at the Salt Shed. So we're going to do that for you for this monstrous donation.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys doing this. I mean, like you're saying, this is a few dollars can feed people all day long in weeks, right? I mean, and it's fundamental. Like, kids can't learn. People can't go to work. You can't do anything without food. So just base level helping people out, man. This is getting people through life sort of stuff, right?
Absolutely, 1,000%. It couldn't be said any better, and we appreciate you donating $525 to God Bless the Gravy. That's amazing. You've made an impact. You've saved lives, and we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys doing it, man. Pull out whatever you can. Squeeze people for it.
We're squeezing.
We're just going to squeeze. Yeah, I'll squeeze everybody.
You're over here talking about burritos and donuts.
Brian, I'll do the squeezing. I don't want you to get fired.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to touch anybody. Not again. All right, Farhan, thank you so much, and enjoy your song here, man, okay?
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, take care, buddy. He wanted to be anonymous. That's what the thing. He wanted to be anonymous, and it's really cool.
And you said we don't do that. You said everyone gets credit.
Here's why I did that. Because before I play a song here, Silver Sun Pickups, Lazy Eyes, that people want to be anonymous, and I understand that's really generous, but I also think it's better to put your name on it and get it out there on your own platforms and our platform, because good inspires good. There's too much negativity out there everywhere on your social platforms or just in your life. And so if you do something good, it's okay to pat yourself on the back for it. It really is. It's not a negative, and people shouldn't say, oh, you should have done it anonymous. No, it's great, and he wanted to do it anonymous, and I respect that, but I think it's better and can inspire others to give. God bless the gravy, Q101.com, or text GRAVY to 312-591-8300. You'll get the link right there. You don't have to do $525. You could do up to $5. It'd be fine. But $525.
That's amazing.
That's going to help a lot of people eat. And
Here you go. You earned it.
all Farhan wanted to hear was this great song from Silver Sun Pickups. That's easy. There you go, buddy. Congratulations and thank you.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
See what Inspiring Good does? It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 with our $525 donation from our anonymous donor who we had on the air. But we called him out anyway because we wanted to. Now we're up to 8,000 meals.
847 texted in and said, people, I want to be anonymous. Brian, that's too damn bad.
Damn right. Damn right. You do something good, I'm going to call you out. I want to let people know you're a good person. So we're up to 8,000 meals. I'd love to get to 10,000 by the end of the show today. And $1 equals 3 meals. God bless the gravy. The food drive with the Greater Chicago Food Depository. We're trying to get to 30,000 meals overall, but 10,000 is a good goal for today.
Where are we? How many dollars short are we? Just math. Well, I know. I'm putting you on the spot, and I apologize.
So 2,000 meals.
We need 2,000 meals.
And $1 equals 3. So I'm saying that's roughly between $600 and $700, $650, maybe $633 is.
It's 666. Kind of creepy. Sorry.
666.
We need 666 to help the people.
The number of the beast
is what we need to save people.
So if one person, a good business out there, will give you a massive plug for a business who wants to drop $666.
You may want to do 667 for better luck in your life. But, Pedro, all we need is $666.
In case you try that.
I'm afraid to.
Go ahead.
Do it.
$666. That's the most uncomfortable I've ever been.
I know.
So that's all we
Hurts the
need
throat.
in the next 45 minutes. It'd be great before we get off the air to have that number of 10,000 meals helping out the Greater Chicago Food Depository, where every dollar goes to those meals. There's no administrative fees. This is all to them. So donate if you can. You can just text GRAVY to 312-591-8300. A link will come back to you. Really easy to do. We appreciate it so much. Love you guys. So text GRAVY to 312-591-8300 to get the link and donate.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Love you guys so much. God bless the gravy, our 4th annual food drive with the Greater Chicago Food Depository. We had a goal of hitting 10,000 meals today. We hit 12,255 meals.
Yay!
Thank you so much for donating. Now, we're not done, of course, because we're trying to get to 30,000 and break that.
Right.
There's no real goal. We can get 100,000 meals and we'll all be ecstatic.
No, but we're really close to halfway to our goal, which is awesome because we launched this yesterday.
24 hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is incredible.
So if you want to donate, as we say, just text GRAVY to 312-591-8300. You get a link back to you. $5 makes a difference. That's 15 meals right there. If you can do more, we've had so many people donating. Our boss, James, just donated $100.
That's very nice of him.
There you go. I love that. Thank you, James. We've got a lot of people that threw out $100. Wade did. We have James, I already saw that one. Matthew. There's just so many donations coming through, including a top donation of $525 today. huge donations. You can do it all day long and just really help out.
A lot of people have been asking if they're a part of a business that wants to donate, how we can shout out their business. When you donate, just be sure in the comment section to put your business's name, and we would be more than happy to shout out your local business.
Put your little information in there. We'll show you some love.
Always. Like Jake, who's not really necessarily...
From State Farm?
Not necessarily a business, but his local 150 operating engineer sisters and brothers. He's challenging them to donate. And more. We'll get a whole list of them together, and we'll be shouting out as you donate. Case takeaways, what do you got?
Jason checked in from Chicago. His takeaway, still can't believe that an unknown alderman does not want a Cane's chicken at Western and Belmont. Someone is waiting for a payoff. There will be a McDonald's there within a year.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
As I always say, follow the money.
Show it to him. Okay.
He dropped his mic after that. Case did. He went, push the mic away. Follow the money. Boom. Kenzie, what do you got?
Tony texted in, Brian would switch religions for a pool.
Facts.
There's that.
I mean, as long as you all believe in God, right? You got a pool, I'm good.
Yeah, it'll even get cozy.
And finally, 708 takeaway. Chicago rats have been getting a free ride for long enough. Time to put those bastards to work. I agree. Case, what's on the podcast?
Well, we did learn that Brian will indeed switch religions for a pool. You can figure out why on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. We also learned that TJ Maxx just wants you to have a nice ass. They are not a part of ISIS. They want you to have a nice ass. There is a huge difference there.
Yep.
And there is a brand new Kenzie's Crimes today about the hauntings at the Drake Hotel. All of that information and more, all of that audio and more, all of that funniness and more at the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
You get it at Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and the Q101 app, newly redesigned. It's super slick in getting to the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.